On the morning of January 31st, 2007, an unnamed civilian is waiting to board the train station at Sullivan Square in Boston, Massachusetts. The subway station is located under an overpass of the I-93 Expressway, a United States interstate that runs north and south from Quincy, just outside of Boston, to St. Johnsbury in Vermont. While waiting for the train, the civilian notices a suspicious device stuck to a steel girder on the overpass about 15 feet above the bus station, and they report it to a Massachusetts Bay Transportation Authority officer, who in turn alerts the Boston Police Department. An initial inspection of the package showing wires and a circuit board immediately throws up red flags of an IED, an improvised explosive device. By 10 a.m., the scene is one of panic and bated breaths. John R. Elliman and Andrew Ryan of the Boston Globe described the emergency response as being an army of emergency vehicles, with fire trucks, police cruisers, ambulances, and the Boston PD bomb squad all arriving on the scene. Officer Joseph Matthews of the Explosive Detention Unit dons armor that would make anyone look like a post-apocalyptic Thumb from Spy Kids, and using a truck-mounted lift, attaches wires to the device before it is destroyed from a distance using a specialized water cannon, much to the surprise and relief of the crowd that had gathered to scope out the scene. But now there's a new problem. More of these devices are being discovered all around Boston, and by the end of the day, the Boston PD would find 37 more of these devices, shutting down over a dozen highways, transit stations, and other locations, bringing Boston to a virtual standstill and sweeping the entire city up in a post-9/11 terrorism hysteria. And it all starts with a little pixelated alien from one of Adult Swim's most long-running shows.
My name is...
Looking now, you see a map of all the different devices found around the city, from the Longfellow Bridge to the New England Medical Center.
This is a heavy penalty.
We're not sure what is going to be happening, if that is going to be coming down.
Police say a passenger finds a suspicious package under I-93 by the Sullivan Square T-stop. It ruined people's commutes and created quite a scene.
That device and others found around the city were part of a publicity campaign for a cartoon character.
An artist who was at the center of a terror scare in Boston in 2007 is in the limelight again.
Since its premiere in December of 2000, Aqua Teen Hunger Force has made its home as a flagship show of Adult Swim, alongside other entries like Robot Chicken, Squidbillies, and of course, Rick and Morty. The show follows the lives of three fast food items: Master Shake, a narcissistic and compulsively lying milkshake.
God, you suck at basketball! Boom! Go back to your mama!
Frylock, a level-headed, logical, but often condescending box of fries with a genius-level intellect.
What the hell?
Frylock! What on earth are you doing here?
Oh, I live here. Question is, what the hell do you think you're doing here?
I'm smoking me a cigarette, because I'm a grown-up boy.
Smokey, yes! Put him in the quiet corner. He hates that more than anything.
Look, guys.
And Meatwad, a childlike ball of meat that must be protected at all costs.
Turn this ass Smokey on. Full blast.
Will you quit saying ass?
I just asked you to do something for me.
Why'd you watch your mouth?
I said ask. Blast hole.
As well as their neighbor Carl.
You took a minor conflict over who was to use the fax machine first, and you exploded that into physical violence. And for that, I applaud you.
The show is considered a classic among most longtime Adult Swim fans, and frankly, that's because it is. It's definitely not for everyone, but the surreal absurdity of the show helped set the tone not only for the network, but for countless shows that came after. The show proved to be immensely popular among Adult Swim's fan base, and at San Diego Comic-Con in 2005, Dana Snyder, the voice actor for Master Shake, would officially confirm that a feature-length film was currently in development. The movie, titled Aqua Teen Hunger Force: Movie for Theaters, had a limited release in theaters in 2007, making it the second theatrical release from Cartoon Network following the Powerpuff Girls movie in 2002. Absolute banger film, by the way. But with the release of a new movie, of course, comes marketing. And the guys over at Cartoon Network wanted to try their hand at some experimental guerrilla marketing. The plan? To put up small electronic signs with LED lights inside, which, when lit, had an image of a character from the show named a member of a species of space aliens called Mooninites, who occasionally visit Earth to terrorize the Aqua Teens and Carl. These signs went up in 10 cities, and along with Boston, included Los Angeles, Chicago, Atlanta, Austin, Portland, and New York. However, Boston was the only city that had this kind of reaction to the signs. To get these signs put up, Cartoon Network reached out to a New York-based marketing organization, Interference Inc. Interference Inc. would then go on to hire artist Peter Berdovsky, or rather Zebler, as he seems to be known, and Sean Stevens to put up the signs in areas all around Boston. Zebler and Stevens were given about 38 signs, as well as an email from Interference telling them where they preferred the signs go up, as well as a general list of do's and don'ts. The signs would go up over the course of 2 nights at different times of the month, so as not to draw too much attention right away. Kind of funny how that panned out, huh? The first night goes off without a hitch. They put 20 signs up without getting caught, and 2 weeks later, they put up 18 more on the night of January 29th, just 2 days before the first sign would be reported at Sullivan Square Station. Once the reports of the signs started coming in, though, word spread fast all over Boston. Traffic in multiple areas of the city came to a complete standstill as police and bomb squads were called to areas to deal with these signs, which, to reiterate, at the time were suspected to be IEDs. By the time that Time Warner, the parent company for Cartoon Network and Adult Swim, realized that this entire incident was the result of the marketing campaign for their new movie and reached out to government officials to clarify what had happened, the city had already fallen into complete chaos. Boston Mayor Tom Menino and Police Chief Edward F. Davis III were furious about this entire ordeal and set out to punish those responsible. Zebler and Stevens were arrested on the evening of January 31st, 2007, and charged with displaying hoax devices with the motive to cause a panic. According to CBS News, John Grossman, the prosecuting attorney, said of the devices, "It's clear the intent was to get attention by causing fear and unrest that there was a bomb in that location. The appearance of this device and its location are crucial. This device looks like a bomb." The argument being that because these devices were inconspicuous electronic devices with a clear power source, they were suspicious enough to be mistaken for bombs. To which Zebler and Stevens' lawyer replied, "If somebody had left a VCR on the ground, it would have been a device with wires, electric components, and a power source." Which is just an awesome response. 10 out of 10, no notes. After one of his hearings, Zebler is quoted as saying to the Boston Globe, "I find it kind of ridiculous that they're making these statements on TV that we must not be safe from terrorism, because they were up there for 3 weeks and no one noticed. It's pretty commonsensical to look at them and say this is a piece of art and installation." However, it wasn't just Zebler and Stevens that the city of Boston was after. Mayor Tom Menino wanted to take things all the way to the bigwigs at Time Warner. And the thing is, he did. The media company would be forced to pay $2 million in restitution for this stunt, with $1 million going to the Boston Police Department and another $1 million going to the Department of Homeland Security. As for Zebler and Stevens, since the prosecution was unable to prove any sort of malicious intent with planning these devices, the two men were able to walk away from the incident with a community service sentence and were required to issue a public apology for the event. Zebler was even asked to do an installation for the city of Boston in 2013 for their first night New Year's celebration. Over at Time Warner, current president Jim Samples, who had been running things since 2001 and oversaw the launch of Toonami in 2002 and Adult Swim in 2005, resigned shortly after the incident in February of 2007, stating in an internal memo to Cartoon Network employees, "It's my hope that my decision allows us to put this chapter behind us and get back to our mission of delivering unrivaled original animated entertainment for consumers of all ages." He goes on to explain that he wanted to, quote, "step down effective immediately in recognition of the gravity of the situation that occurred under my watch." Aqua Teen Hunger Force would respond to the entire fiasco with the season 5 episode Boston, production of which was halted immediately and the episode was completely pulled. However, the unfinished version did leak online in 2015. And as for the Boston PD, they tried not to beat themselves up too hard about the whole thing, you know? They picked themselves up, they brushed themselves off, straightened up, pulled themselves up by their bootstraps, and less than a month later, when a call came in about a suspicious device next to a no parking sign on Devonshire Street, they blew it up. But the difference is that this time it was an actual bomb. Yeah, everyone thought the Boston PD was full of chumps, but I guess when you need the cops, you really need them, huh? Which is what I'd be saying if I wasn't lying to you right now, because it wasn't a bomb at all. As a matter of fact, it was a traffic counter that was owned by the city of Boston and posed no real threat whatsoever. I don't know about you guys, but it's really good to know that the next time I go to Boston, the only thing that I really need to have a good time is an old VCR, some black tape, a couple of D batteries, and a little patience. If you liked this video, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Leave a like or a comment or both if you're feeling a little extra. I won't say nothing. I won't say nothing if you want to do a little extra, you know what I mean? And of course, share this video with anyone that you think might enjoy it. All of that stuff really helps me out a lot. As always, guys, my name is Isaiah, and thank you so much for watching my video.